Don't you find it shocking that Tim Loughton, one of the few ministers and members of the Conservative government to seriously question some of the business, particularly with respect to Rwanda and the Home Office, should be detained for 7 hours at the airport in Djibouti on a 24-hour visit to meet the British ambassador. He talks about his intimidating detention and says that his expulsion was a direct consequence of his criticism of China. He's one of 7 parliamentarians who've been sanctioned by China after speaking out in, quote, an industrial scale about human rights abuses by China, or rather speaking out against the industrial scale of human rights abuses by China, particularly against the Uyghurs, the Tibetans, and the people who live in Hong Kong. Djibouti has close links to China and has received quite a lot in donations of investment, including a new stadium, a hospital, a spaceport. China has built a naval base in the country, stationed 2,000 troops there, and taken care of Djibouti's debt, the equivalent of 45% of its national income. When he first got off the plane, and when he arrived from Somaliland and was preparing to collect his visa, he said, as soon as I revealed I was a British MP, my passport was checked, things turned decidedly frosty. He said he was held without explanation in the arrivals hall before being ushered into a holding room where he was locked in and detained for 3 hours. He was subsequently told to take the next plane out of the country, a flight to Dubai. And appeals by the deputy ambassador who came to the airport were rejected without explanation. The Chinese embassy spokesperson denied that Loughton's allegations were about his criticism of China. He says it was fabricated and slanderous rhetoric. Other Conservative MPs who've been sanctioned apparently by Beijing include Tom Tugendhat and Ian Duncan Smith. I think the much better approach would be to talk, wouldn't it? And again, this is a criticism of the sloganizing, which doesn't do any good. And the same sort of thing was evidenced in Liz Truss's playing chicken with Sergei Lavrov. This is not the way to do diplomacy. The way to do diplomacy is to talk. And I would expect our senior politicians to be talking, not to be ferried out of countries because they're on some sort of list. I don't believe in sanctions, by the way. I think sanctions are a particularly bad idea all round. We should be talking. We should be talking to our friends, and we should be talking to those people we don't like. Talking is good.